Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. Today, Ripple XRP bull market getting paid in crypto with XRP up 595% year over year. Chip, you ready to get into this?
Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Jeff, spectacular, because I have to tell you that, we did last night. We were talking very bullish on XRP, and look what happened. 24 hours is up 25%. Bullish on XRP. Right. We talked about all the use cases. We talked about why it was so fantastic, and then someone said, well, I hope you guys mean well, but that's already talked about that. I'm like, that's all we talk about.
That's what we talk about. XRP, Ripple, Bitcoin, Ethereum, cryptocurrency.
Well, let's dive headfirst into the shallow ends for maximum impact. XRP sourced 30% as investors gain confidence. This was in investing.com today. There it is. So trading at 128. But yeah, it's I don't know what it is right now, but it touched 96 cents yesterday. It got all the way up as high as $1.30 something. I mean, what a rise, right? And we're like, wake me when it hits 2. I mean, that's how lethargic we've become. We forget 30 days ago it was 50, 60 cents, right?
It's amazing.
It's so funny. You get a little taste of a run here, and you start getting all excited, right? And it said XRP had traded in a range of $1 to $1.34 in the previous 24 hours. Past 7 days.
Scary. It was scary for some, going back to 96 cents. People were like, we're going to see 20 cents again. Didn't quite happen that way. Turned around, big market. The whole market, though, went up. We saw Bitcoin gaining, Litecoin gaining, Ethereum gaining. It was a nice trend. Even the stock market went up today.
Right. It was just really weird to see green after seeing red for a little bit of time. And, it's like I look on it's funny. The only thing that's really red here is USDT. You know why? I don't know. It says it's $1. It's exactly $1. I don't know why it is, but the one thing that I was shocked about, I got interested again in Casino Coin when it came back to the XRP ledger, and at one point it was up 800%, and I was thinking, and it was like the only one that was up out of the whole. I'm looking at all the stuff and the coins, and it was the only one. And funny enough, it's up 400%.
Casino Coin.
Well, 400% from, I bought a little bag, but I was just like, yeah, Casino Coin. But when they moved back to the XRP ledger, we covered the story, and I said, it might be interesting to get a little bit. It was super cheap. I mean, it still is pretty cheap when you think about it, but who knows what's going to end up with that project. But again, we talk a lot about John Deaton here. Why? Because he's doing something on behalf of the XRP community, XRP holders, making an impact, right? There's other attorneys, that are breaking stuff down, but look at this.
It's only one.
XRP advocate petitions Gary Gensler to drop that SEC lawsuit. This is Thomas Hodge. He started the petition to SEC chair nominee Gary Gensler at the time. Dropped that lawsuit against Ripple. It should be confirmed. Obviously, this is a little bit aged, but the point of it is that he got the petition going. He put it out there, and it's like this is the kind of things we want to be signing, right? It's like, hey, we need to develop clear regulatory framework with everybody together with American blockchain developers and holders of digital asset. That's basically what the petition says. So
I think the petitioner, it's good. Hey, you want to question whether or not the SEC had clear, motive, if the SEC, truly had all the facts in the case before they filed. Does the SEC have the retail investor at heart, or are they after some, progressive ideology? I think where this person went a little bit off cue is where they're asking Gensler to investigate the motives of SEC Chair Jay Clayton, because then you come out looking a little bit bitter and you're putting the accusation on the chair of the SEC and basically saying the rest of the SEC is perfectly innocent of everything else that they've done in the crypto space. And if you want to ignore the fact that the SEC isn't out there defending the retail investor and doesn't understand crypto, you can't put it all on Jay Clayton. And I think that is completely off base.
No, I think that's fair enough. It's like it takes away from the power of really what you're looking to do. It's like you throw that in there. It's kind of like one of these like little zingers. But did you see who walked in when we weren't paying attention?
Come on, man, Berserker.
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 Berserker's in the house. Yeah. So that's the one thing. But he says what he's bringing to light here. It's kind of like what I look at when John Deaton was here. He's like, once you ring the bell, you can't unring it. Claiming that Hinman received payments from Simpson Towers law firm, which was part of the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance known as the EEA. In addition, he also received royalties for supporting the IPO of the Chinese mining equipment manufacturer Canon. So, yeah, you open it up, you put it in there. But I kind of feel like you're right, Jeff. It's a little bit misplaced. It looks like misplaced anger, sour grapes. And really let's keep it on the merits of the case. Asking for an investigation, I don't know that it really helps at all. Now, if you talk about the fact that, there's XRP investors are being harmed, okay, well, that falls right in line with what the mission of the SEC is. Outside of that, you're kind of right. It's kind of a really kind of a bad move, I think. I don't know.
Well, Chip, even in the article, it goes down. There's a one sentence. Both Hinman and Jay Clayton argued that BTC and Ethereum were not securities, but they didn't argue.
No, they did not.
They weren't securities. They made statements on their own unofficial capacity. So we come to find out that it wasn't. Because if you want to, throw it that way, then let's talk about Hester Pierce. Some of the statements that she's made. Hey, she's making these statements also, but we're not seeing the SEC act in like manner. So, how are we going to get this all to unfold? It all goes back to the SEC as a body that is supposed to regulate the space based on laws that are on the books that are written by Congress. And that's it. And they're lost. And what is that one bill, Chip, that they need to sign into law?
It's called the token taxonomy, Jeff. It's sitting on Maxine Waters' desk. I don't even know if they can find her desk at this point. I don't even know if she logs any time there. I don't know what the Financial Services Committee is doing. I haven't heard any legislation get out of committee. I mean, there's this, and if you look at all the people, I mean, Jeff, can you Google that really fast and look at who is part of the Financial Services Committee? I think it'll shock people. No. I'm thinking, like, before I looked at that, I thought it was like, maybe it's 11 people. It's I don't know, 12, 13. It could be a little bit more than that. And they sit around a desk, like one of these like long chairs, and they're like, hey, what do you think about this? And they sit there and, hey,
what does it do?
Oh, look at the time. Oh, gosh, let's go get some lunch, and then they move on to something else or they chit chat. Who knows what happens there? But I want to see if you can find that and put that out there to see who is part of this freaking committee. Because I looked at some of the names on there. Can you find it, Jeff, or no?
I'm looking. It's here someplace.
It's out there.
To the members of the committee.
Yeah, and again, they always hide stuff. It's like really hard to find anything government related.
All right, you ready for this one?
Toss it up there, Jeff.
Here we go. The 117th Congress, right? These are all the current members. Let's put this up here. Let's see. Who do we have here?
Is zooming on that.
Maxine Waters. Maxine Waters.
Big smile on the face, not doing anything.
Here we go.
Yeah, you keep
Let's
going,
go down the list. So you've got Carolyn Maloney, Velasquez, Sherman. Remember the Shermanator?
The Shermanator.
We used to talk about the Shermanator all the time. I forgot about that.
Oh, I forgot about Al Green.
Meeks, Scott, Green, Cleaver, Perlmutter, Himes, Foster, Beatty. Look at this. I mean, it goes on and on. We got
AOC's on there. Rashida Tlaib is on there.
This goes on and on and on. Let's get over to this. Here's Patrick McHenry. Now we saw Patrick McHenry on a bill. Let's see. Luke Meyer, Zinga, Stivers, Wagner, Barr. I mean, obviously, there's Tom Emmer.
Yeah,
Tom Emmer's there.
But look
Ted
who's
Budd
on
is there.
But this is what kills me. You got Ted Budd.
Look at
this. Tom Emmer. You got Warren Davidson. Right? They're all sitting on the Financial Services Committee. They've got the token taxonomy, and they can't get anybody in the rest of this thing to move.
They can't. It's amazing. Amazing to me.
Go up to the top. Highlight Patrick McHenry. These are all people who are supporters, big time supporters of not only the token taxonomy, but crypto in general. And this is what, you got the SEC and people talking about legislation. The Biden thing is going to do this. This is where the buck stops right here. They have to get out. Yeah, gosh, Josh Gottheimer. I mean, he's another sponsor of the bill. I don't think Darren Soto sits on this, but then you got a bunch of knuckleheads.
The rest of them
that don't have a clue. I don't really know what Cortez is doing on that committee. I really don't know what Talib is doing on that committee.
That's scary. And we know that this one right here, this guy was the antithesis of, is that the right word? Antithesis.
It's a nut. I'll just call him a nut job.
He's the opposite. He's the opposite. He's the, trying to think of the right word. I don't know why that one came up, but he's the
anti-crypto, really. He was hating on crypto.
Yeah. What is the opposite character in a movie? The protagonist, right? The antagonist or protagonist.
The protagonist.
Right, there you go. That's what I was trying to think.
The antagonist, Jeff.
He's the antagonist. There he is, right there. There's no red highlighter, but I'd put it. But that's what he always served as. I think it's interesting.
But look at all the great people sitting on that committee. They just can't get anything done. I mean, they've introduced it 3 times already. The 3rd time was in March. And meanwhile, you get all these other knuckleheads talking about, well, the SEC should do. They don't. They're an enforcement agency. They go after. They're supposed to protect investors. They're not sitting there passing legislation, and they're not responsible for that. But I wanted to get into something, Jeff, and I think this is something that we should talk about because villain. That's even better. He's the Bond villain. He's the Bond villain.
Man, check this out. Look at all the people that are now showing up over here on Twitch. Got all sorts of people.
I love Twitch, man. Twitch is a really great platform. It really is fantastic. I enjoy watching Ripple X on there too. Matt Hamilton.
Channing was over there as well.
Channing's there. You know what's great? It's a really good platform. It's smoother. It runs better. It's great.
It's nice.
Listen, so here's what we're gonna do, Jeff. A Ripple dropped a new video today. It wasn't a Ripple drop where it's like that music, do 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 do, and it's like today in Ripple, and I try so hard to get past like 11 seconds, and I'm on the floor like sleeping. I can't do it. I'm like, let me try it again. So this one dropped. This is Monica Long, and she used to be. Well, she now is. She's the general manager of Ripple X. That's her new role in there. And she's the executive sponsor of Women at Ripple. She discusses her passion for building equity and inclusion within her work and her team. And I think it's only fitting, Jeff, that we actually go ahead and play the video. So I'm gonna load the video up and let's just play it all the way through and let's get some feedback from the peanut gallery over there. Let's find out what people are thinking about this thing.
Can you turn the volume down and we'll just we'll ad lib?
Well, this is one of those things where I'm not sure really the volume really makes any difference. I'm just gonna say that up front, okay? I'm not sure that it makes a difference. I'm just gonna go with that. Oh gosh.
Oh, it doesn't work.
No, it's hang on a second.
Hey, well, while you're doing that, I didn't want to pull this one up. Ray put this one up and said, come on, man, this is the U.S. Congress you're talking about. Check back in a few years and they'll have a meeting about it. I love that.
That's exactly right. So let's try to watch this thing.
XRP.
Let's see. I think it's up all the way. I'll turn my volume up a little bit. See if
there's Channing. Channing's over on Twitch.
Channing. Here we go. Ready? Here we go. Check it out.
The Women at Ripple group is really about creating that inclusive space for women at the company. So, I mean, it's, we do everything from, sharing with each other what challenges we're facing, helping each other problem solve or navigate issues, and also just celebrating each other's victories and successes.
Okay. Is that it?
Oh my God, Jeff. For more information, visit ripple.com careers. We share, I almost expected her to say we share recipes. Sometimes we'll make the recipes. We have a book club. I'm like, really, Jeff? I mean, for real? It's insane. This does not belong on a corporate website. We've lost our minds.
I mean, is she saying, and she's talking about a women's group at work. I mean, I get, you want to empower each other. I find that, the more they get woke, the worse it gets, because you're undermining all other women that have succeeded in the space by now singling out and basically saying we have to come together as a group and, share, and help. And I get it. You want to help. It's the workplace, you're building. You want to create a separate environment outside a company as a, do that on the side. You want to have a motivational group, do whatever, but in the business place, man, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a little off.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It doesn't really have any right. It doesn't have a function at a professional company, right? I mean, talk about ideas or talk about achievements. Talk about that. Listen, by the way, we have a group and we're pretty proud of it. It's mostly women, but we came up with another way to do this or X. But we empower each other, share each other's successes. It just really it does downplay the important achievements that women are making out in the workplace, and it's like and to still think that. I don't like when you almost treat a group of people as a victim. It's like, well, they're women. I mean, women are pretty much smarter than most men. I'll tell you that for a fact, right?
Hey, Juan is here from Venezuela, by the way.
Hey, Juan Pablo, what's up, man? So, they can say that. And then, of course, so I say that about my wife. She's like always 4 moves ahead of me. She's smarter than hell, right? She's better logic and everything else. It's like, why would I demean it with like, well, we have a group and there's a this and a, no, man. She achieves on her own. She does her thing. She's like, she goes out there and lives life. I don't like this whole, let's treat a group like they're a victim. No, there's no victims here, man. Succeed. Go out there and crush it.
Is there any more video or is that it?
Oh, no, that was all. I picked the shortest segment that I could find, Jeff. I mean, that video goes on for like 3 minutes or something. I was like, no, I think it's actually 11 minutes long or something like that. I shared it with Jeff. I went to watch it. He said, couldn't get past 30 seconds. I go, I kept fast forwarding, hoping to find the bits of pieces, and I couldn't. It's just not my thing.
No, it's crazy because here, we're all here talking about the crypto space. Everyone's fired up about the Ripple case and Ripple and what they're doing in remittance payments. Why isn't she talking about that? Why didn't she have her little, she can get a board together. She can talk about what they're doing at Ripple X, the companies they're investing in, how they're empowering the space, development, whatever it is, growing, expanding beyond the borders, regardless of what's going on with the SEC, regardless of any of the, but nothing. I mean, come on. And maybe there was something else at the end of her video. I don't know.
Yeah,
but,
Ania Bruto says it perfect. She says it, banging on that virtue drum is a tired tune. It is. Well said.
Yep.
Well said. And, well, hang on a second, Jeff. I want to talk about this. So we have all these stories about JP Morgan. JP Morgan launching Bitcoin fund. JP Morgan. You know who gets this right? One of my favorite pubs out there. No, not JP Morgan. No, not Jeff. Not even Jamie Dimon, but we got,
come on,
of course, none other than Zero Hedge, which I love because they really don't mind taking the piss out of something. So it says ever since JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon first announced Bitcoin way back during the heady crypto rally of 2017, shortly before we revealed that JP Morgan's asset management arm was seemingly buying the dip on behalf of its wealthy clients via a Scandinavian ETF.
Really?
Teams of right now, it's crazy, right? Teams of strategists employed by the bank have produced a steady stream of bearish reports warning its clients about the risk of investing in Bitcoin. In a sudden reversal, JP Morgan traders once threatened with firing should they dare touch it. Remember, he's like, "Don't touch Bitcoin. I'll disown my daughter. She'll be cut out of the will."
Jamie Dimon loved his Bitcoin.
Right? Yeah, that's the thing. He's buying it all the way down. CoinDesk reported Monday, JP Morgan Chase soon launches its own actively managed Bitcoin fund, making JPM the latest mega bank to embrace hawking crypto assets rather than struggling to co-opt blockchain tech for its own purposes. That's a nice little dig, Jeff, about the JPM coin. Remember? They got the JPM coin, and then they bailed on that too. And it says JP Morgan offer actively managed Bitcoin. Oh, so that's why JP Morgan was taking down Bitcoin for the last 3 months, right?
It all makes sense.
Buying the dip, Jeff, and pretending like we're a bunch of fools.
They're not just buying the dip; they're trying to create the dip. So it's it's a little bit different, when you see the orchestration by some of the bigger players as they FUD or FOMO in and out of the financial space. It's amazing. You see the narrative, the FOMO narrative that gets on all the headlines and then, gets atop, then the FUD narratives as it starts dropping, and they're creating the swell. It seems to happen, quite often.
So John puts this up, and this is where we're at right now. This is when you realize you've gone past the point of no return. Let's stop eating meat, red meat above all, become vegans, cut our carbon footprint down, all that. Let's stop breathing, be green, and what the F, right? So this is where we're at, right? And people are walking around like it's like, yeah, this is okay. And Mike, the carbon stuff, I was explaining that. to someone the other day, like, well, we got to pay a carbon tax. I'm like, well, who gets the carbon tax? Well, the government. What do they do with it? Are they making the environment better?
Yep. Hey, Moto Yoda is saying, can I have my wrench revoked, please? There's too much censorship here, considering we're supposed to promote decentralization.
There you go. He wants to get it revoked.
Revoked. Let's censor him.
We can censor him.
Censor his wrench, please.
We can censor you. Well, you know, it's just based on opinion. That's all what it really comes down to. It's all based on opinion. The fund could launch as soon as this summer. We're reportedly involved institutional ship NYDIG, which, you know, that's where Chris Larson has his funds, and I think one of the founders of NYDIG is also sits on the board of Ripple. So I remember Larson moved a big chunk last year. Right. And everyone's like, "What are you moving it there for?" And he's like, "Well, it's like, you know, it's institutional custody. So they're going to serve as the Bitcoin custody provider. You know, they're one of the big ones out there. Notable break from other passively managed Bitcoin funds offered by Galaxy Digital, Grayscale, JPM's crypto fund will be actively managed. So there you go.
I'm censoring Yoda.
Censor me. Censor me. Panic's taking his wrench and beat him over the head with that.
That's it. That is it. Yeah. So, hey, where were we on this JP Morgan thing? JP Morgan. So I find it's interesting that, as you come off of that, there are other big funds that are opening up investment into crypto, but only doing it for their wealthy clients. And we saw that. I don't remember which one it was. We covered it a couple weeks ago. It was JP Morgan. It was another one as well. And they open it up like that. I mean, it's amazing, and they had to, maybe it was JP Morgan, but you had to meet, certain criteria. You had to have it invested, with them around $5 million and, that whatever, there was a whole criteria as to when you could then, invest with them into the digital asset space. But, the space is moving regardless of what they say, regardless of what they want to do, regardless of how they do it. This space keeps moving forward and developing. And I want to bring up, here's an article that I think is relevant, except now you can't see it because no thanks. What is this? Why am I using, look at this, holy cow. Why am I using Chrome? So Benzinga Chip put this article, Benzinga, put up this, so this is Palantir. Now, Palantir. Yeah. Palantir is an interesting. Oh, Morgan Stanley. Apex brought that up. I'm glad that
Morgan Stanley. Yeah, same thing.
Morgan Stanley. Yeah. JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, whatever. Yeah. But Palantir co-founder Joe Lonsdale says that Bitcoin is a bet that the emperor has no clothes. I think it's interesting. He starts off like that. Palantir, they're all into information. They're processing information for both government and private companies. But I find that, here he is, he's on CNBC. So you could say, hey, he's starting to dabble a little bit in the FUD as he's, getting interviewed. But what he's saying here, retail investors should not put all of their money into Bitcoin, but it has a really good chance of becoming something big. And he says Bitcoin is a bet against the fact that we have a centralized system run by crazy people at the moment. What do you think?
I think I'm kind of split on the whole thing because I do see the point that's being made. Like there's a very good point being made, right? Because we kind of exposed it a few days ago or last week when we talked about the whole idea of Doge being a fork of Lucky Coin, a fork of Litecoin, a fork of Bitcoin, and everyone's like, Bitcoin's the king, and the king, and the king, and the king only has an agreement that's how much it costs. You can take 50-some thousand USD and purchase a Bitcoin. Now, with that said, I think Bitcoin is always going to be a decent bet, but is it really the emperor wearing no clothes? Well, I guess we'll find out. Right? I guess we'll find out. But so far, when it hit 20,000, people are like, it'll never go past 20,000. Then when it touched 60, they're like, it'll never go to 65. And then it almost hit 65. So it's not inconceivable to think it might hit. I mean, Jeff, do you think it's going to hit 100,000?
I do believe it's going in that direction.
But
things aren't stopping. It's not going to stop.
But at some point, does the bottom drop out, though? That's the thing. Like, does the bottom drop out at some point? Is it?
Well, we've seen the bottom drop out. We said we rode it to 20, and we saw what the other side of the cliff looked like, because we followed 20 all the way down to 3. And then you're sitting at 3,000, and those that had, the foresight, and money jumped into Bitcoin at 3,000. Those that were looking at other projects jumped into other projects when XRP was down in the 20-cent range, and Ethereum was down in the, in the low numbers, and all of the, all these other assets were there. But I think, he brings up, so that was the other side, but it was so different, 2017 and 2018. Not to say it can't go to zero, but we see what's going on over in Turkey right now with some of the exchanges, how they're trying to fight back. But here, Bitcoin, his statement that Bitcoin is a bet against the fact that we have a centralized financial system run by crazy people. There's a guy that deals in information. I mean, you look at that, and he's saying maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but this is what we're betting against. So if he's talking about the centralized, does that mean that fiat is also empty?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say it definitely is, without a doubt, empty.
The usual, sir. Please.
You had to get the cassettes in there, Jeff. That was pretty good.
I had to get that in there.
But that is a great line, though. By the Fed in sloppy ways.
Yeah, you like that?
That's
a lot of money being thrown around. I mean, it's amazing. I missed the interview, but many people believe that government should not be in charge of the financial system.
Well, the government's not in charge of it. It's the Federal Reserve, which has no auditing purposes. Nobody knows what's going on with that whole thing. It's a complete, nobody. The government. Most central banks don't have any connection to the government. It's no, So here we have another sort of a deal with that.
That's right. That is true.
Hey, by the way, I don't know if you saw who popped in here, but nothing. Sir John's in here, so.
Wie einst Lily Marlin. Wie einst Lily Marlin.
That's doing a rendition of Lily Marlin there. So there you go, Sir John. That's just like everyone has a meme, man. At some point you get a meme.
He's out there walking. It must have been like sub-zero for sure. And those double single or double negative digits. He looked freezing.
Yeah. So there you go.
Old.
No.
Oh, that's class.
No.
That's great.
Yeah,
that is great. Oh,
I love it. The Bagman. NFT Punks officials in here. We know about that. NFT Punks official.
So, Chip, we're just talking about the positive side. And then you have, here you go, the second Bitcoin exchange collapses in Turkey amid crackdown on cryptocurrency. Again, on CNBC. So with the FOMO, there's always going to be a little FUD. Here you have Bitcoin said it had ceased all activities after facing financial strain. It says another firm, this was just a couple of days ago, ThoughtX, went offline with its CEO reportedly leaving the country. But I think when he left the country, he took about $2 billion in crypto with him. He didn't just leave for the heck of it. Wonder what this Bitcoin is looking at the other CEO. And he's like, damn, I knew I should have. Just wasn't thinking. And man, but here we go. The central bank banned the use of digital assets for payments earlier in the month because the central bank in Turkey, as the economy in Turkey is on the rocks, just like the issues you have in Venezuela, like the issues you have in Lebanon, you have issues in Turkey, and the people said, hey, the heck with this, we're putting our money into crypto. And the government fought back, the central bank fought back in this scenario, but they're saying you can't use it as payments. They're not saying you can't buy and hold. They're just saying it's not a valid form of payment in their system, but it's also a way, if you're using it for payment, maybe there's a mechanism they're thinking of circumventing taxes or whatever else is going on over there, plus circumventing their system altogether. But man, what do you think? First, the guy that ran away with $2 billion, is that reminiscent of the CEO of Quadriga CX out of Canada that went to India and then disappeared. Supposedly had a heart attack.
Yeah, nobody ever saw the body. The death certificate was kind of faked. Yeah, I mean, this is going to happen. But again, you got to look at the oversight. You know, when you don't have anybody, a third party sort of looking into something. I mean, Turkey's a little bit different, but, you know, the government, it's almost as if the more the government comes after them, the more it seems like a good thing. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you tell a teenager, don't do that. And they're like, hey, I'll do it. It's cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's almost like the more you go, don't stop doing that. Why would you? And this is like, you know, this is my dad's reasoning. If everyone jumped off a bridge, would you too? I'm like, it depends. Is there water below? I mean, if it's rocks, probably not. But if it's like nice and deep water, and it's not too big of a drop, it might be kind of fun. Like I would say, my dad, he goes, but you get my point. You know, you always say, if everyone's jumping off a building, are you jumping off the building? Depends. I mean, am I going to be paragliding down?
Yeah, exactly.
Do I have a parachute? Have somebody push me off in a building? No, it's all. You know, there's always some
bungee cord.
Right. Am I on a bungee cord? Is the bungee cord shorter than the actual drop to the ground? You know? Yeah.
There's a lot of variables, a lot of variability when you jump off the bridge in their building. Right.
Yeah, it's potential. And so I did get a little bit today. We talked a little bit about PayPal, you know, PayPal CEO, but I got to tell you, man, PayPal really just really peeved me. Would you please file for the usual? Would you please? Yeah. So PayPal really got to me today because, you know, they're basically in Arizona. They're kind of going through and they're doing a little bit of an audit there, right? So they have no security. So a bunch of people volunteered and they said, well, we'll open up a PayPal account. So if you want to donate to it. And what did PayPal do? Shut them down. Why? Because that's what you can do in a centralized world. You can just shut somebody down. So
PayPal does best.
That's what they do best. What everybody does best. So they opened up a GoFundMe, and I'm pretty sure that's going to get ripped down too. But you know, that's the whole point of what's happening in Turkey is like they don't want to use it as payments because people will start sending the payments to each other. And how are they going to stop it? Really? You know, it's like if I have XRP and I send it to somebody, and then you're basically doing business off their grid, right? Off their purview, no taxes. They got enough problems right now with their fiat currency. And this is what happens in a centralized world when you start getting into this stuff. And so the central banks will need to rethink monetary policies according to the
really?
Really? I mean, this is like, this is the headline they went with, right? This is what they went with. I mean, this is part of the, hang on a second. Let me just go off and.
It's an interesting graphic they put in there too. They were really,
that's right. They're
really that one. Get all the
they're really checking that out.
Bills.
So in 10 years, the world will see a major decline in the use of cash. Jeff, I don't know about you, but
in 5 to 10,
I don't even use cash anymore. I haven't. Sometimes I have it in my wallet, but even my kid doesn't even use cash. You know, she's like, can you send me some money? And it's always on my phone. I send it to her a couple different ways. Apple Pay. I send her. She's got a card that I can put money on, and it's like, you know, it's one of the ways you can do it. All right, here we go. Get ready. Alex D Vlogs in the house. XRP engines turned on.
Sweet.
3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
Wait, do it again, Jeff.
Let's go.
2, 1. 3,
let's go.
2, 1. Okay, wrong. Let's go.
Wrong one. What is
wrong
that?
One.
Let's
Thank
go.
you for that, Alex. Appreciate that, Alex. Alex, I'm so glad to see you back at it, man.
Put that one back up.
Good to see you back at it. Alex D Vlogs doesn't give a what you do with your money.
That's right.
Does not care. Doesn't care. Matic is going off. Yeah, Matic. Matic's a good project. I mean, look, you got to look at everyone's going to Matic because they don't have to. Nobody wants to pay those high gas fees. Imagine you have a project that eliminates the high fees of the Ethereum. I mean, it's just phenomenal.
What is that one? It's called Polygon now, right?
Polygon, yeah.
Polygon.
But you know, it's like one of those things you get branded with. It's like, you know, it was the Ripple coin and then became Ripple. Now it's always gonna be known as Ripple. It's like the Ripple, you know, not exchanges. Thank you very much, Bill Jack. Appreciate that. $4.99. Appreciate your efforts. I appreciate you, Bill Jack. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. That's very cool. Infinite growth, Alex D. So you know,
I remember when I had only heard of Bitcoin but did not know Bitcoin.
Until you knew Bitcoin.
Until you knew Bitcoin. I was thinking, I remember when I had only heard of Bitcoin and then Maxine Waters called it Bitcoin.
Look at this right here. credit cards as a form factor will go away. You'll use your phone because the phone can add much more value. Really, when was this article written, Jeff? This is like
This was like
Jeff,
2000.
Jeff, you'll be in the future. You'll use your phone, Jeff.
You're gonna use your phone and your
This
QR
thing is
codes
right
to
in your
buy
pocket.
stuff.
I mean,
You can
good
do
luck.
everything. You can bank and trade and buy your crypto on your phone.
Well, Schulman isn't a Sixers. I'm not saying anything negative about other people. I'm just saying, he's like,
Awesome.
and there'll become a time when you won't even use your credit cards anymore.
Well, part of the problem with this whole statement here, go back to that, open that paragraph again. It says here, Schulman said in an interview with Time Magazine.
Oh, there you go.
All right, when was when did Time Magazine factor into anything? Like, I didn't even think that was still a thing. Is that online, or do they still print those?
I don't know what they
Not
do,
even
but
sure.
it's hard to know exactly. Venmo enabled its users to buy and sell Bitcoin and other crypto assets. Last month, the payment giant allowed its users to pay with crypto, expecting the move will significantly expand the utility of cryptocurrency. Yeah, okay. Well, PayPal will be the one to be the leader to do that. But look, I mean, everyone's pretty much jumping in head first. It's not like there's only a couple. It's like, we will lead the way against credit card revolution. I mean, that's kind of where he's kind of making his statement there. I don't know.
Yeah. So with all those good statements, I'll show you another one. Big news over here. And let me see if I can pull it over here. So there's a bunch of there's a bunch of movement in the using crypto, as we just saw. You get the PayPal's into it. Everybody wants to get into it right now. We got this. So this is Camping World. Camping World is now ready to accept cryptocurrency as a payment option. I think that's massive news right there. If Camping World's doing it, then everybody's going to do it.
I was like, if Camping World goes, Jeff, I'm pretty sure the rest of everybody goes. When
that's how it works.
When Camping World leads on something, everybody else is basically right behind them, because, I mean, for gosh sake, it's camping news. Well, what that really does, I mean, we make light of it, but the bottom line is that we're talking about a whole sort of like a subset industry of being able to pay again with crypto. So it's just more adoption. I mean, we see the adoption day in and day out. It's just really starting to get pretty fun, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Oh man, it's awesome. I mean, every day is a new day. And this is where it's so different than 2017, 2018, because you're starting to get engagement. You're starting to get utility. It's a different world. I mean, it really is. When Camping World is going to start working with BitPay, because they see the writing on the wall. It's not just a YouTube video with Peter talking about he's buying a Lambo, 3 years ago for Bitcoin. Everyone's like, oh my God, he bought a Lambo with Bitcoin. It's so unusual. And now you can go and you can get your recreational RV stuff, with Bitcoin. You can go buy an RV. So, hey, how about that? But I like this, and select other cryptocurrencies. They didn't really tell you which ones. You can get a variety of digital wallets, they say. So
that's very
then they talk a little bit about what they do. And then, here to this, why it's important. And this is where, and we put this out there a lot, but mainstream. And Chip, you asked earlier, do I think Bitcoin's going to 100,000? And I believe the direction that it's moving in, I believe it's going to 100,000 plus. Not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. That's my opinion. Just look at the trajectory of it. And so it's moving in that direction. And as things pick up steam, but this statement right here, I keep pointing here. You guys don't see my screen over here, but why it's important.
What are you pointing at?
I'm pointing over here. Look at that. You can't really see, right?
Let me see. Hang on a second.
You can't see I should have another camera over here on my screen. But cryptocurrency is gaining mainstream acceptance. That's what it's all about. And then you get a little bit of the Bitcoin payment in Twitch, WeWork. You've got Starbucks, all these different corporations, big companies that have talked about it and really gotten into it, and it's PayPal. There you go. Tesla talked about it. Obviously, we know where Elon Musk stands on Doge and some of the other things.
Hey, do we know about Glamping World? Has Glamping World signed on yet? It's like funny because There's camping, which is like, sleeping on the ground in a tent, just, like really rough. And then there's glamping, which is like glamorous camping. It's like a whole industry, and it's like got fans in there and like, big giant tents, and they're decorated like, like the finest hotel.
Is that in the big RV that you pay 500,000 for or $1 million?
Yeah, something like that. Look at that. Berserker. He says, please hit the like and you'll get a hug from Jeff. Now that sounds, there you go.
Yes.
Come on, demonstrate what that hug looks like, Jeff.
Ooh. And then look, I've been missing here. So
And then
it
he'll
says
squeeze
here,
you.
Jeff is slipping. It should be the Bitcoin.
Oh, thank you.
I'm losing my mind. Thought I was being censored for a minute.
But I want to talk a little bit more about mass adoption. Check out this article, which is in Birmingham Live. This is kind of covers like the Midlands in the UK, birminghammail.co.uk. Now, this is interesting. You're like, what is XRP and Ripple, the fourth highest cryptocurrency, and how it compares to Bitcoin? So it's kind of cool to see this. This appeared today. XRP is one of the highest cryptocurrencies on the market today. But what is it? So this is in a local sort of the Birmingham area in the UK. It's kind of cool because it goes into cryptocurrency is a new major part of our lives. I mean, it's written you got to remember who it's written for. But I love this line right here. It says, XRP is a cryptocurrency run by the company Ripple. However, people commonly call the coin Ripple after the company. They really don't commonly. No, they don't commonly do that. It's just people who write articles who don't really know. They go, so if it's the Bitcoin, it must be the Ripple. Right?
It is the Ripple.
But this is the part that kills me. This commonly happens. Well, no, commonly exchanges use the word Ripple when they're supposed to use the digital asset XRP. That's a little bit different.
Yeah. Commonly reporters don't do their research and look for the facts. That's pretty commonly.
That's overly common. That's like so common. Yeah, exactly.
It's so common that we're seeing evidence of it once again.
But I do like the approach here, like other cryptocurrencies, like Ethereum. It's a platform and a currency to allow fast and cheap transactions.
Dude, when was this written? In 2016?
It was written today, Jeff. Well, at least it was posted online. Bitcoin transactions take a while, whereas Ripple is supposed to be quick and easy with little cost. It's supposed to be, Jeff.
It's supposed to, but it isn't. Is that
it
what
actually? Well, I don't know, but that's what I'm saying. It actually is.
It's supposed to, and it is.
It's supposed to, and it says unlike Bitcoin, XRP coin. Now they're calling it coin. See, now they're freaking everybody out. Wait a minute, it was commonly called the Ripple. XRP coins are not mined
XRP
and overseen by a private company.
Another mistake.
Bitcoin
should have done a little more research.
Did you know that Bitcoin was based on the blockchain concept? So you have the Bitcoin, the blockchain concept, the public ledger of verified transactions and record keeping.
Nice. That's awesome.
Do you think some interns wrote this? They just like pieced a bunch of things together. So here's a good site. And according to Investopedia, XRP is a technology that's definitely go to Investopedia. Don't ever go to Ripple.com if you want to learn about XRP or the company.
I see where they're doing their research.
You see what I'm saying? Like go to XRP, right? It's like to Investopedia. Mainly known for its digital payment network and protocol, aside from the cryptocurrency XRP, Ripple is perhaps even better known as a payment settlement assets exchange. So I do like the approach, what they're doing. What is Ripple? Ripple Labs is behind XRP or Ripple as it's called by cryptocurrency investors. Not.
See, this was written.
But it's mainstream, so Jeff. I mean, people reading this are like, I've never heard of the XRP or the blockchain concept.
I don't know what the hell this guy's talking about.
Ripple, the company, is unique as it is one of the only companies overseeing a cryptocurrency and maintain the crypto network. I don't know what they're trying to say in that sentence, Jeff, but
I don't think they know either.
It's unique because it's one of the only companies overseeing a cryptocurrency. Yeah, there's no other projects out there that has a company or a team or anything behind it. It's only Ripple.
That's right.
They did get this right. It originally was named OpenCoin and renamed Ripple Labs. Nope. At the time of writing, Ripple Labs is embroiled in a legal dispute with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission.
Oh, what do you know? So it is current.
it's accusing Ripple Labs of harassment. It was founded by Chris Larson and Jed McKellar. So, it's like, again, the whole idea.
Getting half the facts.
But again, we prefer kind of like a half-truth article out there that's really exposing people to the company Ripple and XRP. Ripple as its currently or affectionately known by investors. I think it's good. I think ultimately the more conversation and dialogue that gets out there, I mean, right. I think it's ultimately good. And again, it's just another sign. You look everywhere. Remember a couple of years ago, we're like, oh my, mass adoption, mass adoption. Now it's happening everywhere. Some little, online newspaper, and I would say little. I mean, I've been to Birmingham, but it's a beautiful city, by the way. But it's starting to, everything's oozing and dripping into the mainstream. Everyone's looking at stuff. Everyone's getting into it. And again, if it's Doge that brings them in, hello, how are you? If it's Bitcoin that brings them in, come on. You came for the Bitcoin, stay for the XRP. It's lovely. Have a spot of tea. Let's do a little bit of let's talk about cryptocurrency. So most people are going to come in one way or the other.
That's right. Exactly. But this is a perfect segue. As we're talking, John Deaton, this is actually not as we were talking because it looks like it's from like 7 hours ago, but he put this up and it's such a great tweet to write, like so poignant right now. So you have Arturo Portilla says, Bitcoin back in 2015, short the banks, long Bitcoin, economic freedom, bruh. Bitcoin in 2021. JP Morgan will offer a Bitcoin product. Woo! How great is that? That's like, in 6 years.
So
short the banks.
funny.
We're out of the banks. JP Morgan. And then John Deaton. When I bought XRP in 2016, fellow Bitcoiners looked down at me claiming I was buying the banker's coin and that it was against everything Satoshi stood for. Like they have a clue what Satoshi stood for.
Oh,
but now
Satoshi,
I guess how great is that? But now I guess it's official. I own 2 bankers coins, BTC and XRP. Boom. How do you like that? That's freaking, that's just like spot on.
So Ryan Lewis says, do we watch Blockchain Backer? Yeah, we're buds with Blockchain Backer, and I'm going blurry again. But wow. Yeah, we're buds with Blockchain Backer. Of course, we watch him. We love him. He's helped really boost our channel over here. And I watched his video earlier today, and this is the Blockchain Backer. That's I would do impressions of people in the space.
Space invader.
I'm all like out of.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a little video meme of the Space Invader game back in the day when he comes in.
So I want to do this right here. XRP Supercard. Thank you for that $5 super sticker. And also look at this. Look who's here. Look at who is here. Yep, we have none other than Tina Hole is in the house. She loves the Ripple.
Appreciate the support.
I hope you're talking about the company and not the drink. Ripple, Mad Dog, whatever that was.
Love the Ripple.
Love the Ripple.
Oh, you remember Mad Dog?
Mad Dog 2020. That's right. And there was something called Ripple too.
I remember that. Yeah, that's hilarious. Oh
yeah, Ripple Mad Dog 2020.
Hey, so Apex is saying this is written as if great grandpa Apex was asked to describe the internet badly in 1970.
See, kids. Yeah, but Grandpa Apex, tell us more about the 70s. Well, the internet came along in the 70s and it went through the roof.
Oh my God. Can't make this stuff up.
Well, then you have articles like this. So this is here, then you see there's the flip side of the coin, which looks a little like this. Ripple isn't bad, but it's too risky for me. Take a chance on XRP if you have an appetite for risk. Does anybody want to tell this writer, Jonathan Bear from Investors Place, that the entire crypto market is all about risk? I mean, anybody? Hello?
Yeah. So, is it not all speculative?
Look how he opens it. So he goes, maybe I'm dating myself, but when I hear the word Ripple, I'm reminded of an now-defunct brand of fortified wine. Uh-oh, Jeff.
Didn't we just talk about that?
We just talked about that. We're like,
man, we're not the only ones.
Well, we must be dating ourselves. That advertises a favorite for lively people. So this person doesn't like it because it reminds them of that defunct brand of fortified wine.
Right.
XRP's been the mother of all price runs, up nearly 500% since the start of the year as investors and blah, blah, blah. However, a reality check is in order. I've argued previously, I don't think Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are scams, but I think they're too risky for most investors, including yours truly. XRP doesn't seem any more or less risky than Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Binance Coin.
That's right. And John Joe Crypto says, I don't have an appetite. I'm starving for risk.
Yeah, give me some risk.
Starving.
Yeah. Give us some risk here. It says, however, don't be lulled into a false sense of security of XRP's bargain basement price. It's also quite volatile. When we sat at 20 cents for like 3 years. I mean, my God.
That was big volatility right there.
Yeah, I mean, the volatility's come in the last 30 days. Got it. But let's maybe this guy Jonathan woke up in the last couple of days. Indeed, prices for XRP and other cryptocurrencies can move with no rhyme or reason, which is one of the reasons I stay clear of them. Yeah, stocks never do that, right, Jeff? There's never any weirdness with the stock where it just
I've never seen.
By the way, blockchain backer
brought up perfect.
Blockchain backer brought up a good point today. He was talking about he was showing Amazon over the course of the year. He goes, you don't want to get stuck in this like trench where it goes up and it comes back down. It goes up and you can draw lines like that. So you know as soon as it hits bottom, you know it's going to go up, and it gets stuck in this sort of like a static thing. And you can see, like, even with Amazon, which is probably, I would say, arguably one of the top 5 of as far as recognition. You got Apple, Microsoft, Google, right? And here you have Amazon, and like when Blockchain Backer was showing it over the course of a year, it was doing this. But no, not for this guy. Oh no, that's way too much risk for me.
It's very risky.
That's just so risky. I don't know what I would possibly do.
Which you can only invest. You only invest what you can afford to lose. I don't care if it's stock or crypto. Maybe from his perspective, maybe the crypto space is a little bit too risky for him.
But look at this.
Just I'm getting out of the article.
Now, this is what happens when you don't do any of your homework, right? Because then you say something silly like this. The best I can tell, ready for this drop of wisdom? Investors view XRP as an underdog story like GameStop because it's going up against well-entrenched rivals and has faced its share of adversity. What?
Was this guy talking to the other guy? Or are we still in the same article?
This is the same article, man. I'm saying we share the fun. We share and this is an investor place, Jeff. This isn't in like Birmingham Mail. Okay, I understand that. That's a small regional sort of a. This is an investor place. The best he can tell, Jeff, it must be an underdog story, right? I mean, did you even visit the website? Did you do a couple commands in Google?
It's a little bit of research.
Talks about SEC. Tiny. Talks about a little bit. The bottom line, keep in mind the percentage gains appear more dramatic for smaller numbers. I've seen some pretty bullish predictions by Tripolian saying that XRP could reach $3 by 2023. Jeff, I'm not a sage or anything, but if it hits in 2023, I'll eat my phone. I mean, it's going to hit. It could be hit $3 before the end of the year.
It definitely could. I mean, again, if you're looking at the movement where the whole space is going, if the whole space decided to stop and stay static, and that's it. It's not going up anymore. Then maybe, but we're seeing the whole movement, and we're also seeing, and this is what's so crazy about it. Not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. But when the SEC filed their case back in December, the whole market was moving, and they created a lot of emotion in the space. There was a lot of fear in the XRP space, which in that fear caused people to sell because people said, well, it's going to be made illegal. I'm not going to be able to hold it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's going to happen overnight. And there was a lot of turmoil in the space as a result of it. But then little by little, what people realize is that the SEC case is going to be the SEC case. It's going to continue going. And finally, the XRP kind of separated it from itself from the case. And we start seeing some movement. And we're definitely seeing movement in the right direction. Now we went down. What's up? What did you say it was? It's up 30% in the last 24 hours. What does that tell you? In terms of
it's highly volatile, Jeff.
It's highly volatile, but the whole space, Bitcoin had touched back into the 40s. I think it was like 48, 49,000. And now it's gone back up, but where's it going to go? I don't know if maybe like Turkey, if the world's governments come out and say, hey, that's it. We're shutting everything down. No more exchanges. I think it's just going to.
Hey, there's breaking news. I didn't know this, but were you aware that Sir John holds the rights to songs by Tina Hall? Yeah, you can hold rights for all others in the XRP community. That's something I wasn't aware of. That's interesting. A little.
Does he own the NFT?
Do you know if I get a link to track my OTC merch? Hope it arrives this week. Yeah, actually, I think if you go, they should send an email. Didn't they send an email out, Jeff, or no? They send an email, or you go to the site or something
They
like
send
that.
one when it ships.
I think when it
Yeah, I
ships, you'll
think.
see it.
I forget exactly how to. I have to look. I can track it.
Yeah,
Let's
sorry.
look.
Yeah, so look at this right here. So this is according to Coinbase, XRP's market cap is 60 billion. 60 billion. Exceeds the real gross domestic. Look that up for me. Let me see that's right.
Look it up.
It exceeds
62 billion right now.
All right. Well, there you go. It's close enough. It exceeds the gross domestic product, the GDP of some countries such as Latvia, which is only 59 billion, El Salvador, which is 56, and Syria, which is 50 billion. I don't know what that means, Jeff, but apparently to this writer, how is that possible?
Why do you have to go to the CIA's World Fact Book in order to get the market cap of Syria and El Salvador? I mean, I get it. So it's good information over there, but Google has it too.
So let's look at the bio. On the data publication, Jonathan Bear is long on Costco. Okay.
Sweet.
He does not have, or either directly or indirectly, any positions in the other securities mentioned in this article. Sure. I wouldn't think he would, based on the fact that he's writing for, I don't know. He's an award-winning freelance journalist who's focused on business news since 1997. He's luckier with his investments than his beloved yet underachieving Philadelphia sports teams. And let me add a little line here. And knows absolutely nothing about blockchain or digital assets in there,
But yet he's writing about it.
Yeah, an investor place, no less. This is investor place. They write some good stuff here. My good,
Dude, I gotta write goes crypto. Do you guys want me to send you some 7-Eleven espresso from Jersey?
Hell yeah.
Only the best for my boys.
Hell yeah, man.
Oh yeah, I've never had 7-Eleven espresso, so that'll be an experience.
Jeff, I worked at a 7-Eleven when I was younger. Oh, actually, if you know the one, it's still there on Oakland Park Boulevard. If you know Oakland Park Boulevard East there, it's still there. It's the same one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, do I have some stories about that place, man? Wow. I worked the night yard shift at that one. And holy cow.
Hey, Ronnie Size is looking to fill Sir John's band over here, so he wants to know if he needs a bass player for his.
I know, Jeff. What we'll do is, there was the want ads in the paper. We'll start the blockchain want ads. You're gonna have you put blockchain ads up, and
there you go.
Forever on the blockchain, right? Forever on the blockchain. Then there was a little bit. This was getting a lot of press this week too, or I should say today.
That's big.
The Chiefs tight end, Sean Colgan, to convert entire NFL salary into Bitcoin.
Man,
he's going to take his whole base salary of $920,000. He said, which is the hardest form of currency. So there he is, right there.
That's huge. That's huge. I mean, he'll live on endorsements and everything like that. He's going to make his money, but that's huge. Take his salary like that.
Yeah. So so after 5 years, the thing about that is that there's a tax implication, right? So let's suppose, so he gets that money. He's now going to get into capital gains because he's going to get it dropped. He holds on to it for a year, and then it goes up in value. He's got a capital gains. Then if he's taking it as a salary, he's got another tax thing. So there's all kinds of tax occurrences there. And Russell Okun, who famously followed through on his declaration to pay me in Bitcoin, he still takes half of his $13 million salary in fiat. So he brought 7,000 or so he's getting in Bitcoin, which is fine because he can invest it. But what I don't understand is just go buy whatever digital assets you want. Why do you want to be nailed into one? I mean, it's like, I'm getting paid. No, like James Rule.
That's the point of it, right? Like James Rule.
But James Rule gets paid in XRP. That's a different asset. I would, that's cool. I don't know. The whole Bitcoin thing, I'm not so sure. And I'm a big fan of. I don't know. I don't know that it makes a lot of sense to get paid in Bitcoin.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I want to just give a quick shout out to everybody here that's with us here tonight. If you're brand new to On the Chain and you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. There's a big red button right under the video. It says subscribe on it. Hit the subscribe, then hit the bell notifier because it allows you to be notified every time we post a live stream. And it does help the algorithms. Hit that thumbs up as well. We actually stream 6 days a week, Sunday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. think we got a quick question right there.
Yeah, Peter Mulrooney wants to know where you buy XRP in the US. You buy it on Uphold. That's where you buy it. Uphold.com. So there you go. Yeah, I think a bunch of people have chimed in there too. But yeah, exactly. And then I think that's really pretty much it. Man, another hour just gone. I want to thank everybody here tonight.
Flies by.
If your first time here, look, the best way you can help us out is share the video, share it up on the Twitters, share it on the Insta, wherever you want to share it. Just get us out there. I mean, more people come in, that we grow the family, the on the chain family, and we talk about we're not maxis at anything. We're digital asset maxis. We believe heavily in blockchain and the digital asset space, and that's really what we talk about. Of course, we have our favorites with XRP, but there's other ones too. I saw today, if you saw XDC had a little bit of a pump today. Saw Hashstaff, HBAR had a little bit of a pump today. So there's some other things. Solana is, probably one of the big winners out of yesterday. So there's a lot of cool, amazing projects out there. So that's all I have to say, Jeff.
Fantastic, man. It's awesome. Everything's going. Today was a good day. Tomorrow will be even a better day. And we will check you guys back here, right here on the chain, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then.
See you on the next one.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.